You want to talk some Phils?
Let's go. Of
because
course I do.
because you know what sucks, dude? Is like in the midst of all this messy shit, right? I'm have to sit in traffic at Subaru Park. So I'm like, well, the Phillies can't make my night any worse. And then boom!
No, then I can. Yep.
Serenity Dominguez, and you're losing 2-1, blowing leads, and yeah, man. So, dude, what happened last night, bro? What's going on with the bats? That's really that's the main concern for me, at least.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I think a lot of it has to do with Brandon Marsh is still not in the lineup. We're waiting for him to get back, and I know we can't rely on guys like Brandon Marsh, but he's a big part of that lineup, and he provides a different juice to the lineup as well. Um, it just seems like they get really hot for periods, and then they just go cold. And I think that's what's
So
happening again is
frustrating.
they're cold again. And it's super frustrating because you finally got a really good outing from Wheeler and you blew it.
Yeah. Now
They
that's the worst
blew it.
part about it, man.
And
It,
and I didn't like I thought Dominguez should have been pulled after they did that little review there, called the guy out at home. He didn't have it. Take him out, put somebody else in. I know our bullpen's not real deep right now, but Dominguez hasn't had it all year. They got to kind of let it go a little bit. Like he just doesn't have it. And it may have cost us a game last night because of it.
so for me, like I don't know what to think of with Strength Dominguez and just this bullpen in general, because like like even like Bilotti, like Connor Brogdon, guys like who have helped us in the past, it just feels like we've kind of used up their arm in a sense. So it is a little bit difficult. Do we bring up Mitch McGarry? You got to do something, because right now you're getting thin on arms.
McGarry ain't it.
He
I'm
ain't
not
it.
sure if you saw. I'm not sure if you saw what McGarry did last night, but he is not it.
Definitely. Well,
Say he had 6 walks and gave up 7 runs and didn't record an out.
no, that's a great line. That's
Yeah,
great.
and
Um,
a outing before he wasn't much better. So
yeah, I want to hope that this the bullpen will find the magic again come playoff time like they did, but like the bats right now, like Brandon Marsh coming back for sure will help. Absolutely, I mean for sure. But like the top of the order has been pretty bad, and like I don't understand why Thompson doesn't like to rotate the lineup at all. Like if just why not just move it around a little bit? I don't think like I don't understand how like that messes with their psyche. Like he says he doesn't want to panic. Like he always mentions that as well. But like also doing the same thing every single day in and day out is literally the definition of ignorance.
insanity.
Insanity. I'm sorry. Insanity. But like he's still doing it every single. I think that's more crazier than quote unquote making a panic move and changing up
Well,
the lineup.
and I get it. I see the analytics where Schwarber does really well, or the team does really well when Schwarber's in the leadoff spot. He's batting 180. He doesn't get on base enough. Like, yeah, I'd much rather have a guy like Bryson Stott or Turner or somebody else at the top of that lineup, even Alec Boehm, who just hits the ball. And, I'd rather have that Schwarbomb happen when there's guys on base instead of a
Yep,
solo home run.
that is true.
Um, Thompson's never going to do it. But it's just, I do think there needs to be a little bit of moving around. And when Harper doesn't have it, maybe move him down in the lineup a little bit. And usually when you move some guys down to the 6 or 7 spot, they get going a little bit because they get more pitches to hit.
That's a good point.
So that and maybe that's what you do to get them going, and then you keep just rotating it around and just get these guys hot again. But they feel like they just fall flat at times, and hopefully when it comes to playoff time, they're hot again. But that's what we have to hope for.
Yeah, and like that's why like I can't be too concerned because of the track record of this team right now is good. And we saw this same exact thing last year. I mean, dude, we can all point out that Cubs series in September last year, and then we all saw exactly what happened. So it's easy right now to kill this team. And listen, it's frustrating as hell when I'm leaving the Union match after we get killed by Messi Miami. And last thing I want to see is again the offense struggling after what happened over the weekend, and we blew another game like that. So We're gonna have to wait and see, man. This to me today, man. Listen, it's a weird one. It's a weird week because you had Monday off. You have off tomorrow. So, dude, today you got to show out, man. And I'm not gonna make anyone feel any easier because Mr. Nola's on the mound. It's Nola Day, baby. You know how those go. They go
Woo!
really good or
Yay!
really bad.
Awful.
And your nerves are going to be shot. You're going to lose all nails. Like you're going to bite them down to the numb. So it's going to be a lot of fun here today, man. What do you think's going to happen? Think they show up?
I have no. I've lost all confidence in Aaron Nola. I've
Dude,
just I've just seen it the whole year. He just doesn't have it. He's done. I really pray to God they do not give him a massive contract in the off season because he's just not it.
I think yeah, man. You got to play this negotiation smart. If some team out there wants to give that money to Nola, you just got to let him, man. And look, Mike, we're all really high and goo goo gaga for Lorenzen right now, but I listen, he showed you something. Like he looks really good through these 2 starts. I'll have to wait to see more, but this dude, did you see? I forget, was it the walk off? I don't know if that's a podcast I saw on Twitter. They ranked the Phillies rotation the best rotation right now in their latest power ranking. So it is a
It's
good one.
interesting because if you look at this like overall stats of the rotation, it's been extremely good. But when you're watching the game, it just doesn't feel like it.
It can get really
It's
frustrating.
crazy, but
Yeah, like
it's
Taiwan Saturday, dude. Walk City, bitch. Walk City, bitch.
and the walks are what frustrate me so much is like Thompson will leave him in there an extra inning,
Oh my god.
and they'll walk two guys, and the reliever that comes in there winds up giving up a run every single time, and they'll be winning 3-0 by the end of the inning. It'll be 3-3 again, and we'll be back to square one.
It was like the day where we had the live stream of the Marlins game and the game that we blew the lead. We go into extras. He puts out Gregory Soto in the 9th inning, and then he warms up Craig Kimbrell in the next inning, or he brings him out in the next inning.
Yeah, exactly. And then Kimbrel was not in the same position he's usually in and gave up a run.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.